During dinner, my sister whispered loud enough for everyone to hear. She's not exactly bright. My daughter shrunk in her chair. My grandma set down her fork, got angry and said 5 words. My sister turned pale. My parents started begging. But Grandma. My name is Charlotte and I need to tell you about the dinner that changed everything in my family. You know what's worse than being insulted? Watching someone insult your child while everyone pretends not to notice. My sister Brianna has always been the golden child. Perfect grades, perfect career, perfect everything. I married young, had my daughter Emily when I was 22 and chose to be a stay-at-home mom. My parents never quite forgave me for that choice. My husband Derek? He's a good man. He provides for us, loves Emily more than anything, but when it comes to confrontation with my family he just freezes. I've learned to accept that about him, even though sometimes I wish he'd stand up for us. Now my grandmother Patricia, Grandma Patty, she's 82 years old and sharper than most people half her age. She's always been my safe place, the one person who never made me feel less than. But I had no idea just how fierce she could be until that night. The dinner was supposed to be a celebration. My parents, Richard and Susan, were renewing their vows after 35 years of marriage. Just immediate family. Me, Derek, Emily, Brianna, her husband Marcus and Grandma Patty. Emily had been so excited. She's 12 at that age where everything feels huge. She'd picked out a new dress, even prepared a little speech to congratulate her grandparents. My sweet girl just wanted to belong. We arrived right on time. My mother's dining room looked like something out of a magazine. Emily's eyes lit up. "Mom, it's so pretty," she whispered. Brianna was already there, looking immaculate in some designer dress. She gave me this once-over look, you know the kind? "Charlotte," she said, air kissing near my cheek. "Is that dress from Target?" I forced a smile. Derek squeezed my hand but said nothing. Grandma Patty arrived fashionably late. When she saw me, her whole face lit up. "There's my Charlotte." She hugged Emily tight. "And my beautiful great-granddaughter. Don't you look stunning?" Emily beamed. "That's what I love about Grandma, she really sees us. Do you think family should make you feel this nervous?" Dinner started off okay. Emily was telling everyone about her science project. This amazing model of the solar system with LED lights. She was so proud of it. "That's wonderful, sweetie," my mom said, but her tone was distracted. Brianna leaned forward. "A science project? How cute. Marcus, didn't you just close that deal with NASA contractors? Now that's real science." I felt Emily deflate beside me. "Emily's project won 2nd place in her entire grade," I said firmly. "2nd place," Brianna repeated. "Well, that's still an achievement, I suppose." Derek's hand found mine under the table, but still, he said nothing. Then my mother turned to Emily. "How's school going, dear? Are you keeping your grades up?" Emily nodded eagerly. "Yes. I got a B+ on my math test and my English teacher said." "B+." My mother's eyebrows rose. "You know, your Aunt Brianna was always straight A's. Maybe she could tutor you." Emily's face went red. "She doesn't need tutoring," I said. "She's doing great." Brianna laughed. "Oh, Charlotte, don't be defensive. Not everyone is naturally gifted academically. It's nothing to be ashamed of." "Emily is very bright," I said, my voice harder now. "She's creative, kind, and works incredibly hard." But my sister wasn't done. Brianna leaned back, swirling her wine. "You know what I've noticed? Emily seems to struggle with the same things Charlotte did in school. Interesting how these things run in families." Emily's fork clattered against her plate. "Brianna," I warned. He kept going. "There's nothing wrong with being more hands-on. Not everyone is cut out for academics. Charlotte found her strength in being a homemaker. Maybe Emily will too." Derek spoke up weakly. "I think Emily is doing just fine." "Oh, Derek, I'm not criticizing," Brianna interrupted. "I'm just being realistic." I was about to explode. But then, Brianna leaned slightly toward Marcus, her voice deliberately loud enough for everyone to hear. She looked directly at Emily. "She's not exactly bright, is she?" Time stopped. Emily's face crumpled. My daughter, who had been so excited, who had worn her best dress, just completely shrunk in her chair, trying to disappear. I was frozen. Derek's mouth opened but no sound came out. My parents exchanged uncomfortable glances but said nothing. "Do you see what I mean about my family?" But then I heard it. The sound of metal against porcelain. Slow. Deliberate. Grandma Patty set down her fork. The silence was deafening. Grandma pushed her chair back slightly, and when I looked at her face, she was furious. Her kind eyes had gone cold as steel. "Brianna," Grandma said, her voice quiet but carrying enough authority to make everyone freeze. "Stand up." My sister blinked, confused. "What?" "Grandma, I was just..." I said, "Stand up." Brianna stood, her face already flushing. Grandma stood too, all 82 years of her drawing up to her full height. She looked at Brianna, then at my parents, then at Emily, who was wiping tears as quietly as possible. Then Grandma said 5 words that changed everything. "You're out of my will." Brianna's face went absolutely white. "What?" she stammered. But Grandma wasn't finished. What she did next left everyone speechless. Grandma Patty didn't raise her voice. He didn't need to. The authority in her tone was enough to make everyone sit perfectly still. "You heard me, Brianna. You're out. Completely." My sister's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "Grandma, I was just joking." "Joking?" Grandma's voice was ice. "You made a 12-year-old child feel worthless at a family dinner. You humiliated her in front of everyone. That's your idea of a joke." Brianna looked around desperately for support. "Mom? Dad? Come on, this is ridiculous. I didn't mean." My mother started to stand. "Mother Patricia, perhaps we're overreacting a bit." Grandma's eyes snapped to her. "Sit down, Susan." My mom actually sat. I'd never seen that happen before. "You too," Grandma said, looking between my parents, "have let this go on for far too long. You've favored Brianna since the day Charlotte got married. You've dismissed Charlotte's choices, ignored her accomplishments, and now you're doing the same thing to Emily." My dad cleared his throat. "That's not fair. We love both our daughters equally." "Then why did you say nothing?" Grandma demanded. "Your granddaughter was just insulted to her face and you both sat there like it was normal." The silence was crushing. What do you think you would have done in my parents' position? Because honestly, I was in shock watching this unfold. Grandma turned back to Brianna. "I have assets worth approximately $2.3 million. Properties, investments, savings. You were set to inherit 40% of it." "Not anymore." Brianna's face went even paler. "Grandma, please." "That 40%? Grandma continued. "It's going to Emily. For her education, her future, whatever she needs. And Charlotte will be the trustee." I gasped. "Grandma, you don't have to." She held up her hand. "Yes, I do. I should have done this years ago." Marcus, who had been silent this whole time, put his hand on Brianna's arm. "Maybe you should apologize," he said quietly. Brianna jerked her arm away. "Apologize? For what?" "For telling the truth. That did it." Grandma picked up her purse. "I'm leaving. Charlotte, Derek, Emily, you're coming with me. We'll have our own celebration dinner. Somewhere we're actually appreciated." Emily looked up at her with tear-stained cheeks. "Really? Really, sweetheart?" Grandma smiled at her, the warmth returning to her face. "How does that fancy Italian place downtown sound? The one with the chocolate lava cake?" Emily's face lit up a little. "I love that place." "Then let's go." I stood up, my legs shaky. Derek immediately stood with me. As we started to gather our things, my mother finally found her voice. "Mother, please. You're being too harsh. Brianna didn't mean any harm." "Didn't she?" Grandma asked. "Because it looked pretty intentional to me." My dad stood now too. "Let's just calm down and talk about this rationally." "I'm perfectly calm," Grandma said. "And I'm perfectly rational. What I won't be is silent anymore while you people treat my granddaughter and great-granddaughter like second-class citizens in their own family." Brianna finally seemed to realize this was serious. "Grandma, wait. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I'll apologize to Emily. Please don't do this." Grandma looked at her for a long moment. "You know what, Brianna? I don't think you are sorry. I think you're scared of losing money. There's a difference." We were almost to the door when my mother grabbed my arm. "Charlotte, please. Don't let her do this. Talk to her." I looked at my mother, really looked at her. "Why didn't you defend Emily?" She blinked. "What? Your granddaughter was insulted right in front of you. Why didn't you say anything?" She didn't have an answer. "That's what I thought," I said quietly and pulled my arm away. The car ride to the restaurant was quiet at first. Emily sat in the back with Derek and I could hear her sniffling. Grandma kept checking on her in the rearview mirror. "Emily, sweetheart," Grandma said gently. "I need you to listen to me very carefully. Are you listening?" "Yes, Grandma Patty. You are brilliant. You are kind. You are creative and wonderful, and anyone who can't see that is blind. Do you understand me?" Emily nodded, wiping her eyes. "Your worth isn't determined by grades or by what small-minded people say about you. You got that?" "Yes, ma'am." I reached back and squeezed Emily's hand. He squeezed back. At the restaurant, Grandma ordered everything Emily wanted. Appetizers, main course, 2 different desserts. She even let her order a Shirley Temple with extra cherries. As we ate, Emily started to relax. She told Grandma all about her science project, and Grandma listened to every single word like it was the most fascinating thing she'd ever heard. Second place out of how many students? Grandma asked. About 120, Emily said. 120. Emily, that's incredible. Derek finally spoke up. Charlotte, I'm sorry I didn't say anything back there. I should have stood up for Emily. For both of you. I looked at my husband. He looked miserable. We'll talk about it later, I said. Right now, let's just enjoy dinner. But honestly, I was hurt. I needed Derek to be stronger. Do you think that's fair of me to expect? My phone started buzzing. Texts from my mother, my father, even Marcus. All begging me to call Grandma off to fix this, to make it right. Not a single text from Brianna. Grandma noticed me looking at my phone. They'll keep trying, she said. They're panicking now. What if they don't change? I asked quietly. Then we know where we stand, Grandma said simply. And we move forward without them. The thought made my chest ache. Despite everything, they were still my family. Emily looked up from her pasta. Mom, are we not going to see Grandma Susan and Grandpa Richard anymore? How do you explain this to a 12-year-old? I don't know, baby, I said honestly. We'll see what happens. That night, after we dropped Grandma off and put Emily to bed, Derek and I sat in our living room in silence. She's going to call tomorrow, Derek said finally. Your mom. Probably. What are you going to say? I looked at him. I don't know yet. But I know I'm not going to make excuses for them anymore. What I didn't know was that the next day would bring something I never expected. Something that would make this whole situation even more complicated. And it all started with a phone call at 7 in the morning. The phone rang at exactly 7:04 a.m. I knew who it was before I even looked at the screen. Charlotte, thank God. My mother's voice was strained. We need to talk. Can you come over? Please. Mom, I don't think. Your father had a heart attack last night. Everything stopped. What? My voice came out as a whisper. He's okay. He's stable. But we're at Memorial Hospital and, Charlotte, please. I need you here. I felt Derek's hand on my shoulder. He'd heard. I'll be there in 20 minutes, I said. The drive to the hospital was a blur. My mind was racing. Was this real? Was my mother manipulating me? God, what kind of daughter thinks like that about her own mother? Do you think I was wrong to be suspicious? When I got to the cardiac unit, I found my mother in the waiting room. She looked terrible. No makeup, hair uncombed, still in yesterday's clothes. This wasn't an act. Mom. I sat beside her. She grabbed my hand. They said it was stress-induced. The doctors are with him now. Brianna's in there too. Of course she was. What happened? My mother's eyes filled with tears. After you left, your father and Brianna got into a huge fight. He was furious with her, Charlotte. Furious. I've never seen him like that. He told her she was cruel and that she needed to apologize to Emily properly. I blinked. My father had said that? Brianna got defensive, said he was overreacting. They screamed at each other for an hour. Then your father just collapsed. Right there in the living room. My mother was shaking. I was so scared. The ambulance came and Brianna rode with us, crying the whole way. She kept saying it was her fault. I didn't know what to feel. Relief that my father had defended Emily? Guilt that this had happened? Anger that it took a heart attack for anyone to care? A doctor came out. Mrs. Bennett? Your husband is awake and asking for you. And he checked his chart, Charlotte. My heart jumped. Me. He specifically asked for both of you. And Brianna, who's already in there. My mother stood. Come on. We walked down the sterile hallway together. My mother paused outside the door. Charlotte, I know I failed you last night. I failed Emily. I've been failing you for years. Her voice cracked. I'm so sorry. Before I could respond, she pushed open the door. My father looked small in the hospital bed, wires and monitors attached to him. Brianna sat in the corner, her face red and puffy from crying. She looked up when we entered and I saw something I hadn't seen in years. Genuine remorse. Charlotte, my father's voice was weak. Come here, honey. I approached the bed slowly. I'm sorry, he said. I'm so damn sorry. Your mother told me what I need to say, but she's wrong. This isn't just about last night. He took a shaky breath. I've been a terrible father to you. I let you think you weren't good enough. I let Brianna treat you badly. I did the same to Emily. Tears were running down his face now. When I collapsed, all I could think was that I might die without ever telling you how proud I am of you. Of the mother you've become. Of the woman you are. I couldn't speak. My throat was too tight. Brianna stood up. Charlotte, her voice broke. I was horrible. To you, to Emily. God, what I said to her. She covered her face with her hands. When Dad collapsed, I realized I could lose everything over my own stupid pride and jealousy. Jealousy, I managed to say. She laughed bitterly. You have everything I want. A daughter who adores you. A husband who loves you. You're happy, Charlotte. Really happy. And I've been so miserable in my perfect life that I wanted to make you feel small too. This was not what I expected. Not even close. What would you do in this moment? Accept the apology? Walk away? I don't forgive you yet, I said honestly. Not completely. What you did to Emily. Brianna, she cried herself to sleep. Brianna flinched like I'd hit her. But, I continued, I hear you. And maybe this is a start. My mother wiped her eyes. Your grandmother called this morning. She heard about Richard and she's on her way. Oh boy. Sure enough, 20 minutes later, Grandma Patty walked into that hospital room like a force of nature. She looked at my father, then at Brianna, then at my mother. Well, she said. I see we're all having revelations today. My father actually smiled weakly. Patricia. Come to finish me off. Don't tempt me, Richard. But her voice was softer than last night. She sat down beside his bed. How are you feeling? Like I got hit by a truck. But clear-headed. Maybe clearer than I've been in years. Grandma nodded. Good. Because we need to have a family meeting. A real one. Where everyone says what they actually mean. She looked around the room. I meant what I said last night about the will. But I'm not unreasonable. Things truly change, and I mean truly, I'll reconsider. But this family has been dysfunctional for too long. Brianna spoke up quietly. Grandma, I want to apologize to Emily. In person. Properly. And I want to make it right, whatever that takes. That's between you and Charlotte, Grandma said. She's Emily's mother. She decides. Everyone looked at me. The weight of that moment was enormous. I had the power here. After years of being dismissed and overlooked, suddenly my decision mattered. Emily deserves a real apology, I said slowly. Not just words. She needs to see that you mean it, Brianna. That you respect her. I will, Brianna said. I promise. And Mom, Dad, I turned to my parents. Things have to change. I'm not the family disappointment. I made different choices than you wanted, but they were good choices. I'm happy. I have a beautiful daughter. That needs to be enough for you. My mother nodded, crying openly now. It is. It always should have been. My father reached for my hand. No more favorites. No more comparisons. You have my word. I wanted to believe them. I really did. But words are easy in a hospital room when everyone's scared. The real test would come later. What I didn't know was that later would come sooner than I thought. Because when we got home that afternoon, there was someone waiting on our doorstep. Someone who was about to add a whole new complication to this family drama. My father's sister, Aunt Linda, who no one had spoken to in 15 years. Aunt Linda sat on our porch steps, a small suitcase beside her. She stood when she saw me and I barely recognized her. The last time I'd seen her, I was Emily's age. Charlotte, she said softly. I heard about Richard. Is he okay? How did you even know? I asked, still processing that she was here. Mutual friends on Facebook. I've been following the family from a distance. She looked uncomfortable. I know I have no right to be here, but I had to come. Derek came up behind me. Charlotte? Who is this? My aunt. My dad's sister. They had a falling out when I was 12. I don't even remember why. Linda's face tightened. I do. I told your parents they were too hard on you even back then. Your mother didn't appreciate the interference. That was news to me. Can we talk? Linda asked. Please. Against my better judgment, I let her in. Emily was at school, so at least I didn't have to explain this yet. Linda sat in our living room looking around. You have a beautiful home. Patty told me you have a daughter. You've been talking to Grandma? She smiled sadly. We never stopped. She's the one who told me what happened at dinner. And what your grandmother did about the will. Linda leaned forward. Charlotte, I need to tell you something about your family that you don't know. My stomach tightened. What? Your mother's family had money. A lot of it. When Susan married Richard, her parents didn't approve. He was too blue-collar for them. They cut her off financially but left everything in a trust for their grandchildren. Brianna and me? Just Brianna. They never acknowledged you because Susan had you too young before they thought she was ready. The trust pays out when Brianna turns 40. That's in 6 months. I felt sick. How much money are we talking about? About $1.8 million. Do you see what this means? My parents had been grooming Brianna her whole life for money. And I was just the mistake that came first. Does Brianna know? I asked. Of course. She's known since she was 18. Your parents made her promise never to tell you. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. Derek grabbed my hand. Why are you telling me this now? I managed to ask. Because Patty told me what Brianna said to your daughter. And I realized this family's sickness goes deeper than anyone wants to admit. Someone needed to tell you the truth. I sat there numb. Everything made sense now. The favoritism. The constant comparisons. They'd been investing in Brianna like she was a stock portfolio. I need to go, I said suddenly. I need to talk to my grandmother. Linda nodded. She's expecting you. When I got to Grandma's house, she was sitting on her porch with tea already prepared for two. Linda called you, I said sitting down. She did. You know now. Did you know the whole time? Grandma sighed. Not until a few years ago. Linda told me. I've been furious about it ever since. Why didn't you tell me? Because I kept hoping Susan and Richard would do the right thing. That they'd see what they were doing to you. She shook her head. I was wrong to wait. We sat in silence for a moment. Grandma Brianna apologized. Dad apologized. Mom apologized. But now I don't know if I can believe any of it. That's fair, Grandma said. Trust is earned back slowly. What do I do? She looked at me with those wise eyes. You protect yourself and Emily first. But you also leave the door open just a crack, for them to prove they've changed. People can change, Charlotte. But only if they really want to. That evening I told Derek everything. He was furious. We should cut them all off, he said. Maybe, I agreed. But I need to hear what Brianna says to Emily first. That's the real test. The next day Brianna came to our house. Emily was nervous, sitting on the couch beside me. Brianna knelt down in front of her. Actually knelt so they were eye level. Emily, I said something incredibly cruel to you. There's no excuse for it. You are bright. You're creative and kind and special, and I was wrong. Emily looked at me uncertainly. I was jealous, Brianna continued, her voice shaking. Jealous of your mom, of what you have together. And I took it out on you, and that was horrible of me. Why were you jealous of my mom? Emily asked quietly. Brianna smiled sadly. Because she's happy. Really truly happy. And I've spent my whole life chasing things that don't matter, and I forgot what does. She reached into her purse. I brought you something. It's not enough, but... He pulled out a book. It's about Marie Curie, a scientist who won 2 Nobel Prizes. I thought, maybe you'd like it. Emily took the book carefully. Thank you. And Emily, if you ever want help with science projects or anything else, I'd be honored to help. As your aunt. Not as someone who thinks she's better than you. Emily looked at the book, then at Brianna, then at me. Okay, she said softly. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet. But it was something. After Brianna left, Emily curled up next to me. Mom, are things going to be okay? I don't know, baby. But we're going to be okay no matter what. That night Grandma called. I've made a decision about the will. Here we go, I thought. I'm splitting everything equally. 25% to you, 25% to Brianna, 25% to Emily's education fund, and 25% to a family trust that requires annual family therapy sessions to access. I laughed despite myself. Family therapy? If this family is going to heal, you need professional help. All of you. That's my condition. What did Mom and Dad say? They agreed. So did Brianna. Marcus too, actually, he seems relieved. Maybe there was hope after all. But the biggest surprise was still coming. Because 3 days later something happened that would test everything we'd been building. Something that would show me who my family really was when it mattered most. 3 days later, Emily collapsed at school. The call came at 11 a.m. Mrs. Patterson, your daughter fainted during gym class. We're taking her to Memorial Hospital. I don't remember the drive. Just running through those doors, Derek behind me. Emily was in the ER, awake but pale, looking so small. Mom, she whispered. I'm here, baby. The doctor came in. We're running tests. Her blood work shows abnormalities. We need more screening. My heart stopped. What kind? We're not sure yet. We want to be thorough. The waiting was torture. My phone started buzzing. Grandma, I heard. Coming now. Mom, on our way. Brianna, at the hospital in 10 minutes. They all arrived together. My father barely recovered himself, still looked weak. Mom was crying. Brianna ran in with Marcus. Any news? Mom asked. I shook my head. We sat in silence. The same family screaming at each other 2 weeks ago, now united in fear. Brianna sat beside me. She's going to be okay. You don't know that. I believe it. She paused. Can I stay? I want to be here for Emily. For you. I looked at my sister and saw genuine fear and love. Yeah. Stay. Finally the doctor returned. We all stood. Emily has severe anemia and vitamin deficiency. Serious but treatable. Supplements, diet changes, monitoring. She'll be fine. I felt my knees buckle. Derek caught me. Can I see her? She's asking for you. And he checked his notes. Her Aunt Brianna? Brianna's eyes widened. She wants to thank her for the Marie Curie book. She was reading it when she fainted. Brianna started crying right there. Emily was sitting up, for in her arm. Hi, Mom. Hi, Aunt Brianna. Brianna went to her bedside. You scared us, kiddo. Sorry, but I got to page 47. Marie Curie was so cool. She really was. Can you read to me while Mom talks to the doctor? I'd love to. When I came back, Brianna was reading aloud while Emily listened, completely engaged. My parents stood in the doorway, crying. Dad whispered, we almost lost this. We almost lost all of this. Over the next weeks, everyone showed up. Mom brought meals. Dad helped Derek with yard work. Brianna read to Emily every afternoon. Marcus brought homework and made it fun. Do you think people can really change? 2 months later, we had our first family therapy session. All of us together. It was awkward and painful, but honest. When it was my turn, I said, I just want Emily to grow up knowing she's loved and valued. Not compared. Not dismissed. Just loved. Everyone agreed. It wasn't perfect. Brianna still said thoughtless things sometimes. Mom occasionally played favorites. But they caught themselves. They apologized. They tried. Emily thrived. Her health improved. Her confidence grew. And she had a relationship with her aunt neither expected. 6 months after that terrible dinner, we gathered at Grandma's house. Emily stood up. I want to say something. I'm really glad we're all here together. She looked at Brianna. Thank you for my book. And for reading with me. And for apologizing. Brianna's eyes welled up. Thank you for giving me another chance, Em. Emily looked at her grandparents. Thank you for coming to my science fair. It meant a lot. Mom squeezed my hand. Emily looked at Grandma Patty. And thank you for standing up for me. And for making everyone go to therapy. Everyone laughed. Grandma raised her glass. To family. The messy, complicated, beautiful thing it is. To family, we echoed. Looking around that table, I realized this family wasn't perfect. We'd hurt each other badly. But we were trying. Really trying. Emily caught my eye and smiled. My daughter. Bright, creative, kind, and loved by everyone in this room. That's all I ever wanted. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've dealt with family struggles, you know how complicated it can be. What do you think? Did my family really change? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, I'd appreciate a like. Something didn't feel right, please share your opinion too. Thank you for being here. It means more than you know.